Good afternoon. My name is Keegan Reynolds, and I am a Republican Precinct Committeeperson living in Sycamore, Illinois. I am 25 years old, and I am announcing that it is my intention to initiate a candidacy as a Republican for office of the President of the United States of America for the 2036 election. I will be publishing the unredacted version of my book called The Stairwell Jail Unredacted Version in 2035, 10 years from the published date of the redacted version of my book, The Stairwell Jail Redacted Version. Donald J. Trump, there will not be a third, fourth, or fifth term for president. J.D. Vance, there will not be a third or fourth term for president. I am proposing to continue or to implement the following provisions within the Continuing Appropriations Act, fiscal year 2027 through fiscal year 2041. I am proposing to continue HSA pre-tax dollars being utilized for emergencies. I am proposing to continue the baby birth bank accounts with a minimum of $1,000 per baby born in America. I am proposing to continue the family tax credit with a minimum of $2,200 adjusted for inflation for every child. I am proposing to continue no income tax on Social Security. I am proposing to continue tax deductibility for any interest paid on car loans for cars made in the United States of America. I am proposing a federal ban on estate taxes. I am proposing a 29-hour full-time work rule, which would establish a full-time status into law, requiring employers to pay for health, retirement, life, maternal, paid time off, and paid time off benefits. I am going to continue no tax on overtime. I am going to continue no tax on tips. I am going to work for the discontinuance of Citizens United. I am going to work to help pass a ban on congressional insider trading and ban on congressional stock ownership. I am going to work to help pass a federal ban on lobbying. I am going to work to help pass a stock buyback rule that would require any private sector company to spend $1 on their workforce to hire, train, and retain a human workforce for every dollar spent on a stock buyback. As governor of Illinois, I am going to propose early and on schedule both my state budget proposal to the Illinois State Legislature as well as my federal budget proposal to the United States Congress on an annual basis. My fiscal year 2027 federal budget request includes a pathway to pay off the federal public debt by 2041. That pathway may only be possible if the United States Congress chooses to immediately and dramatically increase taxes for any corporation or individual making over $200 million per year. That pathway may also only be possible if the United States Congress chooses to spend in fiscal year 2027 what would have otherwise been spent by the United States in 2041 when extrapolated for inflation. I am proposing that the United States Congress choose to spend $9,079 billion in fiscal year 2027 and to obligate a surplus of $1,580 billion directly to pay off the debt held by the public. I am proposing to spend at the subsequent levels in the subsequent fiscal years and to utilize any annual surplus to continue paying off debt held by the public until 2041. I am proposing that the United States Congress choose to tax any person or corporation making over $200 million annually the quotient derived from the value of the total debt held by the public divided by the total number of individuals and corporations making an annual income greater than $200 million, divided by 75 years, and to obligate the new revenue directly to the debt held by the public. For example, $34 trillion divided by 10,000 individuals or corporations equals $3.4 billion. Divided by 75 years equals $45,333,000 per year for 75 years in new taxes to the government of the United States of America in order to pay off the debt held by the public. Mathematically, any person or small business making under $200 million would find it next to impossible to help pay off the debt held by the public. Any individual or corporation making over $200 million will have to step up. In closing, the Declaration of Independence ends with, quote, "With a firm reliance on protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor." Close quote. I pledge to you, the American people, to do just that and to give you everything that I am, because I know that the American people are good to their core and faithful to their bones. We the people are the choosers of our future. Whether we are enslaved by billionaires and controlled by brain-computer interface technologies remains entirely up to us. We can do this. I am balancing the budget of the state of Illinois for fiscal years 2028 through 2036, including balancing the budget with any new public policy proposals, such as paying for tariffs for goods and services between Mexico, Illinois, and Canada, and paying for any unlawful withholding of federal funds or whimsical federal hiring practices resulting in a lack of federal services being made available to the states or to the public. Illinois will also identify any individuals who will be losing federal Medicaid funding, and Illinois will match those dollars so long as I am the governor of Illinois. Support for Keegan Reynolds for governor of Illinois in the 2026 election is also support for Keegan Reynolds for President of the United States of America in the 2036 election. I am going to keep running for governor of Illinois in 2030 and 2034 if I am unable to be placed on the ballot in 2026 or lose the election in 2026. I am going to keep running for President of the United States of America until the 2036 election. Best regards and Godspeed to the fellow American people.